Hetepu, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste. This is Qesankh with an exciting video for you. And in this video, we're going to talk about religious cults and more. But before I go into that, I want you to hit the like button on this video. If this is your first time to my channel, hit the subscribe bell to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. If you want to know more about my spiritual teachings, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1, $5, $20 per month. There's no obligation and you can cancel at any time. As a supporter, you'll get exclusive access to videos which will teach you how to do proper meditations, how to breathe properly, how to communicate with your ancestors, how to invoke a spirit for protection, and so much more. You'll also get exclusive articles on becoming an entrepreneur, how to get rid of ancestral curses, articles on ancient Egypt. So become a Patreon supporter today. Now, one more bit of exciting news. Last week I announced it, and I want to talk about it briefly here, is that I started my own tech company. And part of that is we've just launched our new website called Qesankh, and it's a social bookmarking site that allows you to bookmark your favorite websites and also to socialize with other individuals and basically create categories for your websites. You can create a category for script writing, music, a lot of different things. And on the site we have our mascot. His name is Clicky, and Clicky is a ferret, and he will help you to register. Registration is free, of course. So take part in this. Go to stickclicks.com, register, and get going right away. You're going to have a whole lot of fun on that website, and we're going to continually update it with new functionality and features. So just be on the lookout. Now, last but not least, share this video with family and friends so we can get the revolution started. So, Haru Nefer, Namaste, Grand Rising. Let's talk about this very interesting subject called religious cults and more. Before I go into this, I want to just preface it by saying that it's not my intent to come down on any one person's religion or to vilify you in any way, shape, or form for belonging to a certain religion. It's not my intent. Rather, I want to shed some light on the practices of some of these religions that kind of takes the shape of a cult, you know. And one of the ways that I was introduced to this happened when I was studying martial arts. A number of years ago, I was going for my black belt, and not only that, I was involved in a program which was a certification program to where when I got my black belt, I could successfully operate a school. Now, the instructor I was learning from, I mean, he was my mentor. He was my idol, and he was internationally known. He was in magazines, he was in TV, every place. And the next natural step for him was to get into movies. But however, I was a roommate with two other guys, and who were also in the same program going toward their black belt to get certification to start their own schools. And one of the other guys, his name was Sean, he made it very clearly known to us that he was going to go off and do his own thing, and it wouldn't be a franchise of this particular teacher. I had agreed, and my other friend had agreed to operate a franchise, but Sean didn't want to do that. He wanted his name up on the marquee, and to let it be known it was his school. Well, lo and behold, the instructor got wind of that, and he wasn't very happy with it. He called us all into a room to confront us and ask us point blank, is this what we plan to do? And, I was very open and honest and said, no, I was not planning to go off and start my own thing. So Sean made it plainly clear that he was going to do that, and there was nothing that the instructor could do to stop him. And the instructor was like, well, yeah, I can do something. I can stop you by not certifying you and giving you your black belt. And Sean was a little bit upset about that. I should say a lot upset, because he had worked really hard a number of years. Anyway, him and my teacher had a falling out, and Sean eventually left the organization, the school. Now, I'm telling you this story because it directly relates to these religious cults. You see, many of these religions and even these organizations may start out and they may seem to be altruistic and have your best interests at heart. But sooner or later you find out that they have an agenda. And this is what Sean and I found out. Because right after Sean leaving to go off and do his own thing, my instructor asked me to stop talking to Sean. He says, if you want to get your black belt and your certification, you'll stop talking to Sean altogether. He's not good people. Now, me and my other friend, Jose, we had to think long and hard about this. Because Sean was a good friend of ours. He had done nothing wrong to us. He was always there when we needed him, and he was a good martial artist. But we were being asked to cut him off for what we felt was a wrong by the instructor. We honestly believe the instructor was wrong. So eventually, we decided that we wouldn't cut Sean off, that we would still maintain a relationship with him, even if it cost us our certifications and our black belts. You see, when you become a member of an organization, and specifically a religion, and we could take Christianity for an example. When you go to a Christian church, there's this sense and feeling of love, admiration, fellowship, and it's a good feeling. But once something occurs, like say, for example, a minister who's collecting tithes to put a new HVAC into the church, and he's been doing it for the last 10 years. Well, obviously he should have enough money to put that HVAC into the church, Once someone starts questioning that, like a friend of yours will start questioning, the minister should have had enough money. Why are we still giving money? Why are we still tithing for this? And if you were to talk to the minister, the conversation would go something like, well, he's a non-believer. Don't talk to him. Stay away from him. I'm working on getting that HVAC. Don't believe him. This happens many, many times when you're dealing with certain religious groups and organizations. Because one of their goals is to exert control over you, especially your mind. And usually these individuals who are leaders of these organizations or these religious groups are very ego-centered. And when you have independent thinkers, especially men who can think for themselves, they become a direct threat to the minister or the head of the organization. So they put in place an edict and they say, don't talk to this person. Separate yourself from this person. This person is no good. And I have seen this occur many, many times. The example I gave you is just one. Another example happens with, let's say, multi-level marketing schemes or pyramid schemes. When you become involved in these schemes, and none of them are profitable, they don't work. But when you become involved in them, and you may have friends or family members who doubt it, and they express that doubt to you, and you then express it to your, what they call your upline, well, what happens? The heads of the organization tells you, don't talk to your friend. Don't talk to your family member. They're planting the seed of destruction. They're evil. You're going to make it one day. You just keep bringing in people into the organization. Keep building your downline. In the meantime, don't talk to your mother. Don't talk to your brother. They don't have your best interests at heart. All because they question what the organization is about. And I have been in these multi-level marketing schemes myself personally. And again, I was told to excommunicate myself from people that I know, even family members. All because they express concerns that maybe this thing won't make any money. See, it's all about manipulation and control. And if you're not a strong-willed person, if you're not an independent thinker, you'll just follow suit with everybody else and cut off friends and family members for no good reason. You don't believe that Jesus is our Lord and Savior? Well, you're evil. You're sent by the devil. We need to stop talking to you. But you see, my teacher didn't realize that we were smart enough to know not to excommunicate Sean. Because our friendship with Sean superseded his martial arts organization. He thought we were dumb and we would fall for it. He thought we would drink the Kool-Aid. And if you look at many religions, and we typically label non-Western religions as cults, when in actuality, many of the mainstream Western religions end up being cults themselves. Look at Jim Jones in Jonestown. Jim Jones told his followers that if your family doesn't believe in what you're doing, cut them off. Stop talking to them. And he did something where he took it to the extreme. He moved his congregation to Guyana, Jonestown, because he knew in moving his congregation there, setting up shop in Jonestown, he could control and manipulate the congregation 100%. They would be directly under his control because they were far away from their friends and family, overseas, in fact. So he could fill these members of his congregation, he could fill their heads with his poison. But that is the modus operandi with these cults. To get you to stop talking to your friends and family members, ostracize them, to get you to move away from them, and to have the only voice of reason is the head of the organization, the minister, or the president of the organization. To be the only voice that you hear and accept. And this is rather a disgusting practice that is done time and time again. They get you to separate from your friends and family who represent the voice of reason, the voice of rationality. But most often, we fall for it. We do what we're told because within the context of the organization or religion, we want to seem like good followers. Cutting off our friends and family members is good stewardship. And we win praise from the minister. We win praise from the head of the organization. Then we feel special. We feel good about ourselves. But yet when we're alone, we feel sad. Because we know we have done something wrong. We've cut off loved ones. People who are trying to talk some sense into us. And it's a damn shame that many of us go along with this. We do what we're told, and we cut our friends off. Because we think the minister has our best interests at heart when he doesn't. You think Jim Jones had the best interests at heart for his congregation? No. Jim Jones, what he did not invent this whole idea of separating you from your friends and family members so that he can have total control over you and manipulate you. He didn't invent that. This type of mind control has been around for thousands of years. He just picked up the playbook and started using it. And if many of us were educated enough to realize that we were being duped, we were being manipulated, controlled, brainwashed, if we had understood history and the context that this falls under, we would know that it's not the right thing to do. We would know that we are being used, that we are pawns in this chess game. Because what the minister wants is money and applause to feed his big ego. Jim Jones, in the last days, because so many people were running to talk to the press, became paranoid. He became real evil and sick. So much so to the point where he had to make sure that all these people were obedient to just him. And what way to demonstrate that is by drinking the Kool-Aid. When you look at organizations like the Nation of Islam, who hasn't really accomplished or done much under the leadership of Louis Farrakhan. But look what happened with Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. Elijah Muhammad, what did he do when he felt that Malcolm X's influence was becoming more powerful than his? He had put out a decree stating that Malcolm had to be quiet or silenced. I forgot what it was for, a month or 2 months or whatever it was for. He could not speak on anything. And when Malcolm said, when the chickens come home to roost, that was too much for Elijah Muhammad. So he had to let his followers know to separate from Malcolm, to not communicate with Malcolm, that Malcolm was the enemy. And no one is to associate with him. You see where I'm going with this? Anytime someone within these organizations wants to exert their independence, they're seen as a threat. Look at Khalid Muhammad, powerful speaker. What did Farrakhan do? The same thing Elijah Muhammad did. Silence him. Told him he couldn't speak for 3 months or whatever it was. And no one could speak to him. But his voice was powerful. The man had radical ideas. He was shaking up the nation. People were following him. But they had to put in place an embargo. This is the modus operandi of all of these organizations and religions. To label you an agent provocateur, and to get others in their organizations to stop communicating with you. And in Malcolm's case, it went to the extreme of members of the organization wanting to kill him. And this is how dangerous these organizations can become. Because once you relinquish your independence, your control to them, it's over with. It's over with. So I'm letting you know that you have a right to question everything about the organization you're in or the religion you're in. And if you're told to stop talking to someone, to ostracize them, to stay away from them, then brother, then sister, you need to rethink the organization you're in. Because if you're being told that, I guarantee you, they don't have your best interests at heart. And one of the things I said to my martial arts instructor, I said, I'm a grown adult. You can't tell me who I can talk to and who I can't talk to. What nerve? If you comply with that, you give up your haru, your will, your independence. No one should be telling you. Just like I take umbrage with those who, in the Black nationalist movement, or the Pan-African movement, or FBA, who are against interracial relationships. I say, who are you to be telling me who I can date? I'm a grown adult, and we're two consenting adults. You don't tell me who I can date. Are you out of your mind? See, these organizations are creating division themselves. They talk about harmony, unity, becoming el ser. But when you're telling somebody not to talk to someone, then you yourself are creating division. You're creating strife. You're setting things up in such a way as to cause nothing but destruction. You want to know where my martial arts teacher is at right now? He lost all of his schools. He's not teaching anymore. He lost his students. Because you see, that type of attitude cannot exist, cannot thrive. Because you may be able to tell one or two weak-willed individuals to stop talking to someone and they comply. But I believe the majority of people are too smart for that, too educated for that. They're not going to go for it. And again, no one has a right to tell you who you can associate with. And if you allow them to do that, I feel sorry for you. Because there's no way I was going to let my instructor dictate who my friends are. And I can go deeper into the story because they took it to the next level of trying to dictate what girls I could date. Yeah. So be careful of these multi-level marketing organizations. Be careful of these religious institutions. Because outside, it may look pretty and nice, but inside there are skeletons in the closet. And many of which they don't want you to know, which is why they want to keep you from talking to certain people. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please think about donating to the channel so that we can make more videos like this. This is Qesankh Ma Keperu, son of my aunt Tuhudi. My aunt is the beautiful goddess Heteru. Until my next video, I'm in Ra.